One of my biggest tips for maintaining weight loss and having a healthy lifestyle is to set yourself up for success as often as possible. Let's face it, it is so easy to fail when we have nothing in the fridge to eat, or when all the food that we have in the house is unhealthy and isn't gonna align with our healthy lifestyle. And when you're hungry, it's so much easier to convince yourself to have that pizza, or to order some Chinese, or just to have a tub of ice cream, because you haven't set yourself up for success in that situation. But if you have a plan, if you put the things in your house that are healthy and align with your goals, it's so much easier to make those decisions and to take that step towards your healthy lifestyle. And I promise it'll even be easier than ordering pizza. And so one way I do this is to make sure that my fridge and my pantry are stocked with healthy options that I can grab, that I can either cook and prepare from scratch, or that I can have that are easy to grab so I have a quick meal. Because when you're hungry, you want something to solve the problem quickly. No, you don't have to go crazy and have perfectly prepared meals that take an hour to cook every day. That is not what I'm implying here, but what I am saying is that having foods that are easy to grab as a snack, having foods that are easy to put together that are healthy, are all gonna make your life so much easier to stay on track. So I went through my fridge and my pantry and my freezer, and I came up with the top 10 foods that you should have in your kitchen if you wanna maintain your healthy lifestyle. So let's get started. So like I mentioned in my video on the 7 foods I eat every day, eggs and egg whites are so valuable because they are an excellent source of protein. Like one whole egg contains 6 grams of protein. They're also pretty inexpensive for the protein that you're getting as well. So they're a good high protein food that doesn't cost a lot. Plus they're rich in vitamins and minerals, and they're tasty too. And they're really quick to make, and they last in your fridge for a long time. I usually combine an egg with some egg whites, and I put it into a breakfast burrito or a wrap, or I add it to a sandwich. It's just a bunch of different ways to add more flavor, texture, and protein to my meals. So I'm a big fan of that. Of course, you could always just have them hard boiled or just fried too. It's whatever works for you and makes your life easier. Full fat Greek yogurt is another one. So yogurt is a great source of probiotics, healthy fats, and protein. You can use it in a shake. You can have it instead of mayonnaise or sour cream. You can use it in sauces and dips. You can have it as a yogurt bowl. You can have it in savory and sweet options. It can just be your replacement for like most things that are creamy. And if you're wondering why I'm not saying fat-free Greek yogurt and instead I'm saying whole fat, that's because that whole fat is good for us. Watch my video on saturated fats and whether or not they're good for you. Watch my video on whether or not full-fat dairy is good for you, and you will see all this research that points to having full-fat foods in your diet is a great option if you're wanting to lose weight. So I definitely utilize full-fat Greek yogurt to feel full and satisfied, and it's just so easy to replace so many of those unhealthy options with this Greek yogurt in my pantry. Protein powder. All right, so protein powder is an essential item in my house. I have all sorts of protein powders in my pantry, and if I'm getting low, I make sure to order more. Just like with the eggs and the egg whites, having an easy to grab protein option is a great idea if you're wanting to lead a healthy lifestyle. And if you watch my video on why women need to eat more protein, and you'll know that having protein in your diet is very, very important, and it's essential for a healthy body and a healthy weight. And you can just have it as an option to add to a smoothie, or you can bake with it and even use it as a flour replacement, or you can just mix it with some water and have as a quick shake as well. But I use protein powder throughout the day to supplement my protein that I'm also getting from naturally occurring foods. Fresh and frozen vegetables. So I always try to keep fresh or cooked veggies that are easy to grab, ready to go in my fridge, because they are just good additions to any meal. So I might have raw sliced bell peppers that are easy to grab, or I'll cook broccoli in bulk and then have that ready to grab and add to a meal. But if you just take a little bit of time once you get them and you cook them, or you prep them and cut them and have them ready to grab, it's gonna make it so much easier for you later when you're hungry to just have that snack or to have that to add to your meals, rather than having to cut it up and cook all that as you go. Instead, you have it all ready to go ahead of time. But having those added veggies is gonna add some extra protein and some much needed nutrients. Plus you're gonna get that fiber in there, and just those complex carbs are so valuable for a healthy lifestyle. And also keep in mind that frozen veggies are just as healthy and nutrient dense as fresh veggies. So you don't have to worry about having fresh veggies go bad all the time in your fridge if you have them frozen and ready to reheat really quickly from your freezer. Fresh and frozen fruits. Just like with my veggies, I also have fresh and frozen fruit on hand at all times. These are great for just a quick snack, adding to a yogurt bowl, tossing into a smoothie, topping some oatmeal, just having that extra naturally occurring sweetness. It's gonna give you all of those good vitamins and minerals, plus the fiber. It's just a really good thing to have. And plus it's really nice to get that added flavor and the colors too, plus you get all the antioxidants, especially when you're having berries in there. So I try to keep those at least frozen. If I can, I'll have them fresh as well. And I also freeze bananas all the time. Frozen bananas are perfect for adding to smoothies. They have a nice creaminess to them. And so I try to, if they are going bad on my counter, I make sure to freeze them. And so I kind of keep that going. Tortillas or bread. So depending what your go-to grain is, having a healthy, high fiber bread like a tortilla or a wrap or a bread is really, really valuable to have at all times in your pantry. I kind of rotate between Ezekiel English muffins or Dave's Killer thin sliced bread or Olay spinach wraps because those really work well with my lifestyle and they are just packed with nutrients and fiber and protein. So those are my favorite go-tos. I'll keep one in the pantry and then I will keep everything else in the freezer. They actually freeze really well and you just take them out the day that you need them and within just a few hours they're ready to go. And just as a side note for bread or any type of wrap that you're getting, I only pick something that has a minimum of 3 grams per slice of fiber rice. I always have a starch that's easy to have and I have it prepped ready to go in bulk in my fridge. I do brown rice and white rice, so either one of those is great. The brown rice is slightly cleaner. It has slightly more protein and fiber in there because it has that outer shell, but they're both perfectly good options for adding a clean carb to your meals. So I might have some rice as a side with some fish and broccoli, or I might add it to a bowl or have it in a chicken burrito. So I use rice all the time to bulk up my meals, get those carbs that I'm looking for, and just super tasty too. And it's really easy to have rice in your pantry and to just make it in bulk one day. You can do it the same day you're cooking your veggies so that you have everything ready to go in the fridge for when you need it. All right, so I love peanut butter. I put it in my smoothies. I have it with bananas. I put it on my yogurt bowls. I have it on my protein pancakes. I spread it on bread and rice cakes. It's just so good and so satisfying. Has a ton of healthy fats in it and also has some protein and a little bit of carbs. So it is a great nutrient dense option that I always keep on hand. So if you're allergic to peanuts, you can always use a different nut butter like almond butter or cashew butter. Or if you're allergic to all of those, you can also try using like a sunflower seed butter. So there's a lot of options out there with how many allergies there are that companies have made a ton of options that will work for your lifestyle. So along the same lines as peanut butter, I also always have butter in my fridge. I look for unsalted, grass-fed organic butter. That type of butter is healthier because it's higher in omega-3 fatty acids and it has a better ratio of unsaturated fat to saturated fat. It's just a really easy way to add healthy, pure fat. Plus it tastes delicious and it's very satisfying and it makes your food better. I'll use about a half a tablespoon per serving whenever I add it to something. So I'm not using a ton of it, but it definitely makes an impact even with that little bit. And again, just like I was talking about with Greek yogurt, check out my video on saturated fats and whether or not they're good for you if you're concerned about adding that type of food to your diet, because trust me, there's so much research to the contrary. It's actually a great healthy addition. Lean protein. So lean protein is a must if you are trying to hit your protein requirement for the day, which I recommend that you do. Personally, right now I'm targeting 150 grams of protein every day, and I get that through a ton of different protein sources. I get it through my egg whites, I get it through my protein powder like I've mentioned, a little bit from my peanut butter and all of that, and I also get it through lean protein, which is gonna be your meats. So my very best lean protein favorites are chicken breast and cod. They are super high in protein and pretty low in fat. So they make a great option to just have as a protein to your meal, and they're super tasty. But you could also even have stuff like tofu or ground beef or soybeans, something else that's really high in protein, and that's what you're getting your protein from. All right, so I wanted to add in a bonus one, and that is sauce. Now, I love sauce. I love salsa, I love ketchup, I love mustard, I love relish, I love all the things on top of my food. So a big thing for my healthy lifestyle is to make sure I have something that I can always add to my meal to make it even more enjoyable. I love my Frank's hot sauce. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm adding it all the time to my food, and it just has the perfect spice, and it's just so tasty, and it's pretty low in calories as well, so it's a great option. All right, now that you know the basics of what to keep on hand in a healthy kitchen, check out my video on what I eat in a day so that you can see how I incorporate these into a day of eating. And I will see you in the next video.